Hey guys, this is Dr. Callahan for ProbStats for week 9 Monday. Congratulations, you guys. You made it halfway into the semester. So your warm-up block is going to be due this Friday. So go ahead and pause the video and answer the following questions. Okay, let's go ahead and create the assignment for today. All right, so let's go to ProbStats. As you guys already know, your grades are updated on Monday. So here is your grades for this week for 5th period. I'll show 6th period in a second. Your class average here is a 69.83%. So take a look at your student ID and then find your grade. Now let's do the same thing with 6th period. And here is your grade breakdown. Just kidding, that's not it. You guys have a 70.21%. Oh, wait a second, that's not correct. So take a look to see where your grade is. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so today we actually have a pretty busy day. You have a pretty extensive amount of things to do. So take a look at what our plans are. Okay, so the first thing that I would like you guys to work on is a maze. So I have 2 of them. The first one is going to be on compound interest or simple compound interest. And the second one is going to be on just IPERT. Okay, so the second one uses I equals PRT. First one equals A equals P, parenthesis, 1 plus R to the T. Okay, so you can do either one. Go ahead and pause the video. You can start right here. So find the simple interest earned principal $6,000, interest rate 5%, 6 years. You're going to plug that into this right here. And then your answer is either going to be 1,800 or 180. If it's 180, find this question here. Once you have your answer, it can either be the $1,798, $92, or 17.5. And to keep going until you're all the way to the end. You do the same thing with this one as well. So start over here, either 150 or 1,500. If it's 1,500, do the second question. It's either $37.50 or $450, and then you finish it all the way to the end right here. So pause the video and go ahead and do that. Okay, once you're done with that, we're going to go on to our notes for today. Your note starts at page 7, and you have to look at this really crazy equation right here. So this equation is if P is deposit at the end of each year for an annuity that pays an annual interest rate of R, compounded once a year, and A is the amount you get back after so many years. And so really this is just the annuity interest compound once a year. Okay, so no, N only compounded annually, so it's not going to be quarterly or anything. But if it is going to be semi-annual, you know that's 2. If it's quarterly, it's 4. Monthly, 12. Excuse me. Weekly, 52. Daily, 365. Okay, so what do these mean? You know that A, and actually, I think you guys know what it means. I want you to give me the definition of APRT, and just take a moment and copy that part down, please. All right, so take a look at what this is right here and what it stands for. All right, let's jump into example 2. And it says, to save for retirement, you decide to deposit $1,000 into an IRA. IRA are generally like, there's 2 of them. There is a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. And this is what people do to save money for retirement. They're both capped at $6,000 a year. So you cannot put more than $6,000 into a year. Some people wish they could do more because, you know, there's a lot of tax benefits. And the difference is that with a traditional IRA, you can actually claim the tax on your April 5th taxes. So that way you actually end up paying less in taxes every single year that you put $6,000 into it. Now the Roth IRA is that you do not make the claim on it, but all the interest that you accrue when you take it out, there is no tax on that because you've already paid the tax when the tax is taken out of your paycheck. So really both are really good, are good setups. The only difference is that if you want to save money now every year by April 5th, you do the traditional. If you can go ahead and, you know, maybe not use the money or you don't need the money immediately and perhaps you would like to get the taxes later on for the interest that's accrued, you know, after 30 years, then you go ahead and do the Roth. So you can't do both, unfortunately. It's either one or the other. Okay, so you're going to deposit $1,000. If you can count on interest of 10% per year, compounded annually for the next 30 years, and your principal is $1,000. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And there are several steps here. Okay, so step number 1. Let's take a look at this formula right here. You're going to have A is equal to P, so that's 1,000. 1 plus the rate, 0.10, to the R, which is 30 minus 1, close your parenthesis and bracket. Rate is 0.10. All right, so here are the steps. Step number 1, you're going to focus inside the parentheses first. You're going to do 1 plus 0.10, which is equal to 1.10. Next, number 2, you're going to do A, or excuse me, hold on a second. You're going to do 1.10 caret to the 30. So type that into your calculator. And if you're not quite sure where the calculator is for the exponent or the little caret, that's okay because I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where it is. So I'm going to go ahead and find one and I'll paste it on. I'll show it to you. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay, so your little caret is actually going to be right here. Okay, so you're going to type in 1.10 caret 30 and then hit the enter button. So what were you able to get? Okay, so you should be able to have a 17.499 or 449, excuse me. Step 3, you are going to go ahead and take that number 17.4949 minus the 1, which is going to give you a 16.449. And once you have that, you're going to take that number multiply it by 1,000. This right here is your multiplier. And do you remember last time when we talked about the multiplier? I said that if your multiplier is bigger than 1, then you're going to be gaining money, obviously. If it's less than 1, you're going to be losing money. And most of the time when we had the multiplier, the multiplier was like 4%, or 4 dot something, which is still really high. But look at this one. This one's 16.449. So you're going to get significantly more money. So when you multiply it together, how much will you get in 30 years? $16,449. So again, what is your return? Here we go. We're not quite there yet because right after this, you cannot forget the divided by 0.10. So let's go ahead and do that. Take your number, divide it by 0.10. Your return, take a look at this, is $164,490. And that's how much you get after just investing $1,000, which is pretty freaking phenomenal. Could you imagine how much you get if you invested $30,000? Or maybe you just invest $1,000 every single year for the next 30 years. I mean, this is pretty phenomenal. All right, next one I have you guys do is we are going to go over part B, where it says find the interest. Well, that's pretty easy. I equals A minus P. So that's going to be 164,490 minus, well, if you're going to put $1,000 for each year, sorry, you're not actually putting 1,000. You're going to put 1,000 for the next 30 years. So minus 30, which is still going to give you significantly amount, which is going to be 134,490. And that's how much you get back. Now, on the other hand, sometimes there's another formula to go over. This one, annuity interest that compounds in times per year. So with this one, it's going to be even more lucrative because if they give you the interest several times per year, and that's where the in times comes from, then you're going to make so much more money. Okay. So how much is it if it's compounded one time or n equals 1? It's annual. If n is 2, it's semi-annual, quarterly, monthly, and weekly. Oh, and then daily is the last one. So let's go ahead and take a look at this question here. Example 3. So it says that at age 25 to save for retirement, most of you guys are 18, so you have like 7 more years until you get there. You decide to deposit $200 into an IRA at the end of each month, okay? Each month, so not every year. So each month means n equals 12. At an interest rate of 7.5% per year compounded monthly, how much would you have at the age of 65? Well, between 65 minus 25, that's going to be 40 years. Okay, so T equals 40. So let's plug this in then. And again, we have this crazy looking calculation here. So let's take a look at this. Let's plug everything in. So your A is equal to $200 each month. 1 plus 0.075 divided by n, which is 12. 12 times 40 minus 1. Put that into bracket. Divided by 0.075 divided by 12. Okay, so first thing to do is going to do 0.075 divided by 12. What is that equal to? So grab a calculator and do that. Well, you should have a 0.00625. Okay. Step number 2, you're going to do 1 plus 0.00625, which is just write this piece right there, which is 1.00625. So that's pretty easy. Then with that number, you're going to go ahead and do 12 times 40, which is this piece right here. And that is going to give you 480. Step 4. We're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and take 1.00625, which is what you just have right here, put it to the caret, 480. What does that give you? Well, you should technically have 19.90. Take that number and you're going to times it by the 200. This is your multiplier. Do you remember before we have like a 16 something? Now you have a 19.90 something. Remember, if that is going to be bigger than 1, you're going to be gaining 1. Well, 19.9 is significantly bigger than 1. So you're definitely going to gain a lot more money. So that's going to give you $3,979.70 or 78 cents. But we're not done yet because you still have the denominator right here, which means I'm actually running out of steps here. So I'm going to go back and add a few more steps. Or actually, hold on a second. Maybe I do have the steps. Oh, no, I do. Just kidding. Number 6, you're going to go ahead and take the 0.075 divided by 12. What does that give you? Well, if you have to calculate, you calculated this correctly. It should give you a 0.00625, just like how you did it before. Now you're going to divide these two numbers together. And what do you get once you divide them together? Take a look at this. $636,764.80. And that is how much you get back. But you got to remember step B, find the interest. Interest is how much you get back because you're also putting $200 each month. So we have to go ahead and calculate that piece as well. So when I'm looking for the interest, how do I do that? Well, your interest, you're putting $200 per month. So times by 12, that's $2,400 a year. Times that by 40 years. So looking at this right here, that's going to give you a 0.0000001689. So 0.0069. So you're technically putting $96,000 over the course of 40 years with $200 per month for the next 40 years, right? So that you have to subtract the two. So take that minus 96,000, bring down the 80 cents, 4,670. So that's going to give you a 50. 13 minus that gives you a 4. So you're still making a significantly amount of money. And that gives you $540,000, excuse me, $764.80, which is still a lot of money if you think about that. You know, when you're investing $96,000, you're getting 5 times that back, over 5 times. So it's still a worthwhile investment. And this one is really just at 5.5%. Most IRAs probably give you around 10 to 12%. So that's pretty impressive. All right, you guys, what I want you guys to do is go to page 24, go ahead and work on objective number 6 for A and B. All right, if you're done with that, take a look at the answers here. Okay, so now I'm gonna have you guys do, and actually, is we're gonna go back to the handout for today. Okay, so take a look at this. If you're at home, you're not going to have this in front of you, but you're welcome to go ahead and just do it on a separate piece of paper. So I'm gonna have you guys take the assessment since you just did this, and it's probably freshly embedded in your mind. There are 4 questions, so give me the answers for these 4 questions and upload it onto MS Team. And then after that, I want you guys to take a look at this. It says, our graduates will prepare for success for college career in the 21st century. Take a look at your checklist as to what you should be doing for each of your years. So after the checklist, are you adequately prepared to graduate high school? Justify your answer. What steps do you still need to take post high school, so after high school? Then after that, I want you guys to do all about me graphic organizer. So write your name, tell me some facts, some awesome activities, who's your hero, best book, did you know, and a few of your favorite things, and a mini autobiography of yourself. All right, you guys, as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful week and stay safe, healthy, and try to be kind to one another. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.